Of all the archetypes I have discussed, Aphrodite, also known as Venus to the Romans, is perhaps the most recognizable, particularly to those who do not study archetypes or ancient goddesses. The goddess of beauty, love, and laughter, the object of male fantasies, I personally equate my understanding of Aphrodite to my ability to understand her male equivalent, the Lover Archetype, that I have discussed in my previous video essays. Not that they are exactly the same. You see, where the male lover is unjustly repressed by a society that values masculinity above all.
Magazine. This is a shining beacon of hope for, I don't know. Let's say a young boy growing up in Rhode Island with 6 brothers, pretending to go to soccer practice when he was really going to sewing class, and reading Runway under the covers at night with a flashlight.
Aphrodite is just as unjustly encouraged or expected in a hyper-masculine society. Aphrodite is an archetype that loves the limelight and has an air for the dramatic. She loves the attention that she receives and she bestows on other people. She is theatrical and creative, living her life as if she is the star of a show that is all about her.
I do believe Marcellus, my husband, your boss, told you to take me out and do whatever I wanted. Now I want to dance, I want to win, I want that trophy. The dance good.
She is unapologetically in love with herself. The goddess Aphrodite is said to have come from the sea, as depicted in the famous Botticelli painting. The abundantly fertile sea, after all, is where all life began, where Mother Earth incubated her plentiful children. It is only right that we humans equate fertility with the sea. Aphrodite the goddess is known to have many relationships and partnerships with the gods and mortal men alike. She is also a very helpful and encouraging goddess. She not only wants love for herself, but she wants love for all people.
Didn't you just love the picture? I did, but I just felt so sorry for the creature at the end.
Sorry for the creature? Why'd you want him to marry the girl?
He was kind of scary looking, but he wasn't really all bad. I think he just craved a little affection, you know, a sense of being loved and needed and wanted.
There are many myths where she is called on by men to assist in matchmaking. In the myth of Atlanta, a mortal man, Hippomenes, is in love with an Artemis-like mortal female. In order for Hippomenes to marry her, he will have to do something that nobody else has been able to do, beat her in a foot race. If he fails to do so, he will not only lose her hand, but also his life. Aphrodite sees the plight in both of these people. The man about to lose his life and love, as well as Atlanta, who might be cursed with living a life never knowing what love is. Aphrodite assists Hippomenes in his race by tricking Atlanta into contemplating her own existence, mortality, and the importance of love. Forced to confront what she might leave behind if she never slows down to be present, Atlanta slows just enough in her race to lose to Hippomenes. This myth shows the interdynamic at play between archetypes like Artemis and Athena, who are goal-oriented, always looking to the future. Aphrodite is not a long-term planner. She is a woman in the moment.
Luckily for me, I have all my best ideas drunk.
I have the best idea!
She enjoys the little things in life and lives for sporadic adventures. She can sometimes be flaky or impulsive. Perhaps she buys things she cannot afford, or has romantic trysts with somebody other than her current partner. She can also be an instrument for creativity and ultimately procreation. Aphrodite is also the god of encouragement to those who pursue art. These are the muses who love the artist's creation and offer encouragement to continue, even to the most lonely and downtrodden of artists. Her spontaneity and love in the heat of the moment lead to some regrets.
Who is that girl? She's creeping me out. She's not with any of you guys, is she?
Yeah, she's with me.
When Aphrodite is present along with another strong archetype, Artemis or Athena, they can use the Aphrodite side of oneself or a break from their usual routine, as long as they practice safe sexual habits, that is.
Ew.
I'm going to Yale too.
What?
I'm incredible at hand jobs, but I also got a 1560 on the SATs.
This isn't possible. You guys don't even care about school.
No, we just don't only care about school.
It's important for me to state, lest anyone think otherwise, that you need not be the epitome of beauty to embody the Aphrodite archetype. Beauty, after all, is in the eye of the beholder, but a true Aphrodite is about a state of confidence more than a body type or image. This is something young people struggle to learn as they venture into the dating world. You can't tell an Aphrodite archetype just by looking at her, and those that seek one will often find one in unlikely places.
Turn the lights on. I want you to see me. See, this is what I look like.
Que bonita.
A young lady who identifies with an Aphrodite archetype is the one that seeks the spotlight. She craves attention and will often put on shows for adults and other children alike. She may not find much enjoyment in school or work outside of the social interactions, but she'll be drawn in by emotional connection to classmates and coworkers. Unless there is a strong mix of an Athena as well as an Aphrodite in a person.
94.
Welcome back, nerd.
Thanks.
In fact, the desire to act more as an Aphrodite may come out as she moves into adulthood. It can even fluctuate throughout adulthood in cycles on the grand design to continue the survival of species.
Good. You should have one of your own.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan.
Well, don't wait too long. You don't want to miss your window.
Oh, yeah.
As mentioned, the goddess Aphrodite is known to go through several relationships in her mythology, and the strong Aphrodite archetype would likely do the same. Aphrodite's mythic relationships, likely by design, are meant to serve as warnings to those who are quick to fall in and out of love. While some relationships with mortal men start out in heat of passion only to fizzle out later, others can be toxic and destructive, such as Aphrodite and Ares relationship, which represents both love and war, a combination that should together create harmony. But people are not two colors of paint. Instead of complementing each other, the negative aspects of their respective shadows feed off one another, and the couple waffles between shared addiction to each other and their mutual disgust for the worst parts of themselves that they see reflected in their partner.
Fucking Sid, don't leave! Sid! What about the farewell drugs?
This is where the goddess casts her shadow. Like all shadows, it is opposed by two opposite poles. An active one, known as the addicted lover, and a passive one, known as the cold lover. The addict is on full display when Aphrodite is first in love with something. Like Hera, Aphrodite loves a wedding. It's marriage that she's not so hot for.
Wake up, you piece of shit!
Ow!
Who's Venice? Huh?
Who?
After the excitement of a new thing has worn off, she grows cold and uncaring for that thing that she was once obsessed with, much like a child loses interest in an old toy.
You don't love me anymore?
Yes, I love you. It's just, I love you, but I love me more. And I've been in a relationship with myself for 49 years, and that's the one I need to work on.
The bipolar nature of an Aphrodite shadow is exactly why her relationship with Ares is so toxic. Consider that an Ares represents the shadow of the male warrior, with his negative pole as the masochist and his active pole as the sadist. The masochist loves the negative pole of Aphrodite because she ignores him and he feels that he deserves it, while the sadist loves the addict of her willing to put up with anything.
Yes.
Careful. Do not say this oath thoughtlessly. Desire becomes surrender, surrender becomes power. You want this?
I do.
The shadow stretches past her lovers. It can even affect her own children.
Is it hard to share your son with your ex-husband?
Fuck no. You seen my kid? He's like 9 feet tall and all he cares about is baseball.
Do you go to all of his games?
No. No, I don't.
Unlike a Demeter, who is also stung by urges of procreation, Aphrodite is not a long-term thinker. She can love her children as she loves anything in life, but her sporadic and unpredictable nature is not the best environment for children to grow up in. They will likely love the attention that they get from their mother while she is around. After all, she is fun to be with, carefree and full of mirth.
It's me and Tracy home late at night and Mom's not there.
Now tell your mom how that makes you feel when she's not there.
Worried.
Wait, little baby, check it out.
Scared.
Great. Oh, man.
But because she spreads her love out to so many others, any relationship with her is prone to long periods of neglect and absence. The lover she leaves on the roadside will often feel the same way, glad to have felt the warmth of the goddess, but spurned from being left out in the cold one too many times.
Hey, Juji.
Nice of you to grace us with your presence. Couldn't make it for the wedding, but here you are right in time for the divorce.
Oh, okay. Nobody wanted me at that wedding.
This can also happen to those in life who she's helped to pursue love. They can feel the bite of love's curse that now has them in an unhappy marriage.
Here's the truth. Our marriage has been over for years. I don't even remember the last time we had sex.
Perhaps a product of an impulsive urging from the goddess.
Sex in your life?
I was on top. Who the fuck is on top their first time?
You mean like awareness of how many civilians we've killed since the invasion in Iraq started?
Shut up. Shut up. Different things can be sad. It's not all war.
Like all things in life, there requires a proper balance to bring out the positive aspects of the powerful archetype of the Aphrodite.
You have this way. You know, it's that mom thing, that amazing gravitational force. Even when she was a mess, you know, the world noticed her. You have that. And I guess I figured that you always knew that.
To some, even myself, Aphrodite's upbeat and perky nature can seem grating. Her disposition can also lead to the unflattering stereotype of her being unintelligent.
What? He's a good kisser. He's your cousin. Yeah, but he's my first cousin. Right. So you have your cousins, and then you have your first cousin.
And one who only gets by on her looks. But this would overlook her deep emotional intelligence and empathy, as well as her connection and appreciation for creativity, which itself is a form of intelligence. Love is powerful and it should be wielded with restraint. It is great to be in the here and now, but it is also necessary to have a mind for the future and acknowledgement of the past. And remember, to truly love someone, you must first love yourself and value yourself, your contributions to the world, and acknowledge that others want to feel this way too. Thank you for watching. If you're still here, please consider supporting the channel by liking, subscribing, or commenting. There are new videos here on the first Friday of every month. You can contact me at The Lazy Stoic on Twitter. Goodbye, and never forget the farewell drugs.